Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Today's show is presented by Aura, the all-in-one digital safety company. We'll tell you more about what they do coming up later in the show. For now, you can sign up for their free 14-day trial at aura.com/chatsports. On today's show, we have an update on Baker Mayfield as well as Gabe Jackson, and we will also tell you what Pro Football Focus had to say about the Seahawks defensive line. Before we get to that, though, we want you to shout out your city. Let us know where you're watching today's show from, whether it be Seattle, Washington, or Vancouver, Washington, to New York City. You name it, let me know in the comments section below where you are watching today's show. Let's start with Baker Mayfield. The Browns quarterback could be headed to the Carolina Panthers very, very soon. That's according to CBS Sports' Jonathan Jones, their newest NFL insider over there. He reports that a deal could be close between the Panthers and the Browns, that they're trying to work out the money situation, but it would appear that the Panthers want Mayfield there as they get through the rest of this offseason. Now, there's been rumors connecting Seattle and Mayfield for quite some time, since the Russell Wilson trade as well as the Deshaun Watson trade. Mayfield is owed $18 million. That's fully guaranteed no matter what, whether he plays for the Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, the Seattle Seahawks, one way or the other. Even if he gets cut, Baker Mayfield will make $18 million. Now, the pressure is on Seattle if they want to make a move for Baker Mayfield. The clock is ticking at this point. Carolina appears to be moving in. You know, when this all went down back when the Browns made the trade for Deshaun Watson, I thought that we were going to see a Baker Mayfield trade, that he would move on from Cleveland pretty quickly. But that has not been the case. It has been a long time, this long, drawn-out process of Baker Mayfield and the trade market, as we've seen that it's likely that Cleveland's not going to get much for him. But now that it looks like Carolina is close to making a move, pressure's on Seattle. If that's the direction they want to go, if it's Baker Mayfield, it's now or never essentially on bringing Mayfield to Seattle. The other option is Jimmy Garoppolo, and here is the statistics comparing Garoppolo and Mayfield. As you can see, last year, Garoppolo taking the 49ers to the NFC Championship game had 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, while Mayfield, a very down season, one of the worst, if not the worst, of his career last year, with just 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. The QBR was not impressive from either quarterback, but the completion percentage, solid from Jimmy G at 68%. Baker Mayfield just a scratch below 61% there on the numbers. Let me know. Pick a quarterback. If you had to choose between Mayfield or Garoppolo, this is our pinned comment today. Let me know in the comments section if you would choose Mayfield or Garoppolo given the choice. If all things are considered equal and you could choose between just one of these two, obviously the money situation is a lot different between them. Let me know in the comments. Type BM for Baker Mayfield. Type JG for Jimmy Garoppolo. That's not Jeff Gordon. That's Jimmy Garoppolo there. And you're going to get an ad break. Take advantage of it while that ad's playing. Get your votes in. BM for Baker Mayfield. JG for Jimmy Garoppolo. Gabe Jackson could be on his way out of Seattle as he had offseason knee surgery, which led to him missing minicamp. If you recall, he hasn't been with the Seahawks that long. He was traded to Seattle in March of 2021 from Las Vegas in exchange for a fifth-round pick. This upcoming season, Jackson is owed $9 million. And where the Seahawks stand right now, Jackson is already in a position where he'll be competing for playing time. And now you add in the injury factor. And we talked about earlier this week on the channel about potential options for them to look at for guard help in free agency that wouldn't cost a whole lot. You have to wonder if it's worth keeping Gabe Jackson right now. Look, I'm not opposed to cutting Gabe Jackson. There would be a cost to that, sure. But a lineman that is coming off a season that was not that great. And not to mention, he's entering his 30s. He's not getting any younger. We have seen when offensive linemen get into the older part of their careers, Father Time, the cliche goes that is undefeated. Well, with offensive linemen, that goes fast, especially when you're talking about interior offensive linemen. Their decline, once it gets going, the train don't stop. I can tell you that right now. So with Gabe Jackson already getting older, and then you factor in that he's coming off surgery, I'm not feeling very great about Gabe Jackson at this point, folks. More on Gabe Jackson in just a second, but before we do, today's show is presented by Aura, the all-in-one digital safety company providing financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, online and device security, family plans to protect 5 people. You can get near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. You know, I had a situation a couple of years ago where my debit card was compromised. Had no idea about it, and my bank did not let me know. But you know what? If I had Aura, I would have found out instantly. That's what they do. They're the best in the business for a reason. And for my viewers of Seahawks Today, just for you, we're going to offer you a free 14-day trial right now at aura.com/chatsports. That's aura.com/chatsports. The all-in-one digital safety company for the whole family. All right, let's look at Gabe Jackson's numbers according to Pro Football Focus, and they are not good. The overall grade for Jackson last year, 63.6. Pass blocking grade, atrocious, 55.7. The run blocking grade, 64.3, and allowed 3 sacks last year. You can see the Seahawks did not get what they paid for in giving up that 5th-round pick for Gabe Jackson last year. It was not good. And Pro Football Focus this week rated the Seahawks as having the worst offensive line in the NFL. We talked about that earlier this week, and when you see the numbers from Gabe Jackson last year, it all makes sense, doesn't it? So, let me know in the comments section. Should the Seahawks keep Gabe Jackson? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know one way or the other. Y for yes, in for no on Gabe Jackson. Last thing before we go, we will stay with the nerds from Pro Football Focus as they've continued to release their rankings by position group across the NFL. The Seahawks ranked 29th in the NFL when it comes to the defensive line for Seattle. Not great, not much better than what they rated the offensive line earlier in the week. More on this in just a second, but before we do, later this week, we will do another award-winning edition of the Seahawks Mailbag. But if you want to be a part of it, you got to subscribe to the channel. It's subscribers only on the Mailbag. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV to subscribe now so you can be a part of the Mailbag. Go to our community tab, get your questions in. I will be happy to answer your questions, but you got to be a subscriber first. So do that now, and then I'll take care of you later. All right, here's what Pro Football Focus had to say about the Seahawks defensive line. The Seahawks have a few starting caliber pieces on the interior between Poona Ford, Shelby Harris, and Al Woods, but it's difficult to see where the pressure off the edge is going to come from in 2022. Free agent acquisition Uchenna Nwosu has a career PFF pass rushing grade below 70, leaving it up to one of Seattle's young edge rushers, such as Darrell Taylor, Alton Robinson, Boy Mafe to lead the way. Taylor is the most likely player to step up. The former Tennessee Volunteer missed his rookie season in 2020 with injury, but he recorded 36 quarterback pressures in a rotational role last year. Now, I get where PFF is coming from here, but I do think this defensive line is better than advertised. It is better than what is given credit for. The truth of the matter is, folks, that Boy Mafe is going to be really good, okay? Now, you got Shelby Harris there, Poona Ford, Quentin Jefferson, as we mentioned, that defensive line. Mafe, I think, you're going to start him as a rotational player, but he will find his way into the starting lineup before the end of the year is over with. I feel pretty good about that. So that's where the nerds at Pro Football Focus, the blogger boys, can't quite figure out is you can't project based on those numbers that they put together how good the impact of a rookie is going to be. That's why I'm here, to tell you what those folks don't know. And what they don't know is that we're going to see, boy, Mafe, some of these younger guys really start to put it together as the season goes along. Did you like today's show? Did you hate today's show? I don't care. But either way, share it on Facebook, Twitter, text message. Even if you got an Android phone, share it either way. And you know what? You may be saying, well, Tyler, how do I share the show? Well, you're in luck. Here's how. Click the share button. Imagine that. And if you select the Twitter icon and tag me on Twitter at Tyler Jones Live, use the hashtag Seahawks and click tweet. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a shout-out the next show. So if you needed any added incentive to share the show, you have it right there. So thanks for watching. Share the show. You'll get a shout-out, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.